Hi, Shayla.
Hi, Liz.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Okay. Hello, Karen.
Hi, Liz.
We're being recorded already. That happened automatically as soon as I clicked open the meeting. So Shelley is with us just for a little bit and then she's going to log off.
Okay. Shayla, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you.
I'm sending you a hug.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you. What a
Sorry.
trip. Yeah.
You doing
Such-
okay?
Yeah. I'm wintering.
Yeah. I just discovered 6 inches of water in my basement, so
Oh, no.
I'm a little overwhelmed.
Hi, Laura.
That's
Welcome.
Hi, Laura.
Hi, Laura.
Hi. I'm glad you
Just
guys have
getting-
hung in there.
Okay, Shelley, can you hear me?
Yes, sorry, I was muted.
I just got a text from Rebecca asking me to send her the link to sign on.
Okay, I will
she should-
send it to him.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
That's why you're here. Because I think we each had to have an individual link inviting us as a participant that was unique to us. So me sending her my link wouldn't allow her to
Right.
get it.
Right, right, yep.
Laura and Shayla, did you get the minutes that Karen sent? Just a little while ago. It's an email attachment.
I'm going to just pull it up.
Rebecca gave me 2 corrections that she emailed, and I have already
Okay.
made those.
Okay, great.
And
Rebecca.
yeah, you guys, I'm Action, sort of, we truncated my name at Action because of the youth work I was doing, and it was at the peak of the Karen meme. You know, I said, you know what? Let's call you Kay when we introduce you to the kids. It will probably, and I said, I've never really liked my name, but to go back to simplicity, I'm going back to Karen. That's my name.
Own it.
That thing has kind of passed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now you guys are going to have to get used to it. But I think, you can still call me Kay. A lot of
Yeah,
my
well,
friends call me Kay, but my
Okay,
full name, my birth name is Karen.
all right.
And I'm a nice Karen.
Karens are starting to come out of the closet now. Like,
Yeah,
Yes,
they
we
are.
are.
There's been a bit of a rebellion about
yeah. The Karen.
using
Yeah.
the name as a slur.
Yeah. I mean, come on.
Take it back. Take back
Yeah.
Karen. It's a good name.
Take back the night.
Yeah.
And we will have Trisha O'Neill joining us, I think, at a little after 6 as a
Yay.
potential. Yeah, I think you know her, Shayla,
Yes,
and
I vouch. I vouch for her. That's awesome.
she knows Laura's dog and Laura.
Good. Good. She'd be great.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I'm gonna leave and come back, I think, because my video is all messed up and I'm getting a spinning beach ball of death. So
Okay. You look fine to us, but
okay, great. Well, if I all of a sudden disappear, it's because
that's
I
why.
can't figure it out. Yeah.
You've
And
gone
here's
to the
Rebecca. Yay. Okay.
All right. February 9th.
Kay, there were a few discrepancies in the minutes, which I sent you an email about.
I got those, Rebecca. Thank you. And I made those adjustments immediately because you were, you were right. There were 20 grantees and they were fiscal year 2021. So I made those changes immediately.
Okay, great, thanks.
You're welcome. Thank you for reading.
Okay, I may have solved the problem. Fingers crossed.
Yes, solved. Okay.
I think so.
All right. So Lynn McGuire also maybe coming. I need to keep a watch on the attendees list because non-panelists will show up there and I'll have to admit them to give them speaking privileges. Anyway.
If you can just shoot her a text and tell her to raise her hand when she comes in, then that'll alert you that somebody has their hand raised.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and then
Right.
that way you can let her in and you'll see that.
And Shelley, should you be recorded in the minutes as an participant or guest?
No, you don't have to, because we are basically your IT staff, you don't have to include us in the minutes.
Got it.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure of your role, but thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, well, we can get started. I sent Lynn a text asking if she's coming. I had previously sent her the link to the public site, the public page or public login, I guess I should say, which is actually on the city website. If you look at under agendas for public meetings, it shows up there. But let me pull up the agenda. Where'd it go? Here it is. So Shelley, am I still supposed to do this open meeting statement at the beginning of the meeting?
Yes, because it is still
Okay.
the open meeting law.
Yeah,
you
okay.
Have to do that.
It's the original language that I've had all along. If it's supposed to be different, I don't know. So I'll just read this.
Perfect. Yep.
All right. Consistent with the governor's orders, suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law and banning gatherings of more than 25 people. This meeting will be conducted by remote participation to the greatest extent possible. The public may not physically attend this meeting, but every effort will be made to allow the public to view and listen to the meeting in real time. In the event that a live transmission proves unworkable for any reason, an audio or video recording, transcript, or other comprehensive record of the meeting will be made available on the city's website as soon as possible. And it provides the link to do all that and the phone number to phone in. Okay, so the first item is to review the agenda and make any announcements. So before everybody was here, Karen announced that she's going back to her full name, Karen, rather than the abbreviated K.
You can call me whatever you want.
She'll respond to us. Okay, Karen, you want to, well, why don't you state for everybody who Trisha O'Neill is, who's joining us?
Yeah, Trisha O'Neill is going to be joining us later. She's unable to make it until 6. She's a 20-year Gloucester resident, former friend from Arlington. That's how I know her. We both originated from Arlington. And she's interested in participating as a council member. She's a artist, a muralist, a photographer, an extraordinary person. So she's a very, very interesting and well-versed artist.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So another person who I think is coming is Lynn McGuire. Her daughter saw Lucas's post on Instagram that we were looking for members and said, Mom, this is something you might be interested in doing. So
Cool.
she's a retired physical therapist and watercolor artist. And she's been volunteering at the Rockport Art Association in Gloucester Stage. She retired from physical therapy. At the Art Association, she's assisting with greeting, artist intake, sales demonstrations, and they are currently discovering and recording the collection that's in the vault and basically working on cataloging all of that. She's taught lots of different things related to body, exercise, limber stretch, injury prevention, senior strength training, balance yoga, dance, and art. And she's taught with the Get Smart with Art program in Mesquite, Nevada. She lived out west, and she's decided to move back to Gloucester. Her mother lives on Rust Island, and
Huh.
so she's living with her mother, and her daughter is also living there. So they've got 3 generations of women living this house on Rust Island. And after talking and talking, realized I know her mother. And I've been to her house. So anyway, small world. But she's contributed to the Star Island art auction for the last 10 years. Anyway, very, very interesting woman. And she's been studying up about this process online. She kept sending me questions. I mean, she's been reading all the stuff about the MCC and everything. So it's excellent. I think she'll be really good. And she has a goat and chicken hobby farm, and 3 of her goats are pregnant. So that'll be fun really soon. Anyway, she could tell you more.
Maybe we can do a baby goat yoga retreat.
I think it sounds perfect. I think that's that, and we should film it and use it as, yeah, right.
Promotional material. I love it.
So, yeah. Okay, so review and approve the minutes. Did everybody have a chance to look at them really quickly? They're as usual, really well done. Thank you. I did not see anything.
Yeah, I had Liz, I noted, and as
Yeah.
Karen had said, she changed it, but fiscal year 21, please.
Oh, right.
And there were 20 grantees, not 18.
Okay, great. So is there a motion to accept the minutes?
Yes.
Who's made? Okay, motion by Laura, second by Shayla.
Yep.
Okay, I'm supposed to actually call the roll and get a recorded vote.
All right.
So Karen, how do you vote?
I
Rebecca?
Aye.
Okay, Laura,
Aye.
Shayla,
Aye.
and I vote aye. So it's unanimous to adopt the minutes. All right, thank you for that. So the 20 FY22 applications, it turns out that we have a bit more money than we had realized. We don't need to go into the whys and all of that, why that happened. But correct me if I'm wrong, Rebecca, but Mina suggested that we just evenly distribute that amongst the awardees that we already have. And just do it on an even basis. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. That's one way to do it. Or she said there were several organizations that were receiving less than a third of their requested amount. So did we want to put it that way? So there were 2 different options for us, but in dividing up the amount of funds amongst 20 people, it was like came out to like 176.30 or something like that. So everybody would get an additional 30 cents, which would be kind of odd. So I would adjust that if it's approved. So everybody got an even amount, and there'd be a $6 difference, which I could just then try to even distribute those $6, evenly, so to speak, $1 for 6 different things, 6 different grantees.
For the sake of the minutes, what is the total amount that we have in excess or to redistribute?
$3,526.
Thank you, 3,526. Thank you.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay, so well, what would people like to do? How would you like to handle this?
We have 20 grantees.
Mhm.
So it would be $176.30 each, $176.30. But the 30 cents would be a little odd. So, I mean, if that's what everybody wants to do, that's actually distributed evenly, or we can do 175. And then I think what's rolled over from that is $6. And we could just plug a dollar, onto an extra dollar onto 6 different organizations.
Mhm.
Forgive me
So-
for not remembering, but did we fulfill anybody's grant completely? I don't think we did. I just, for my own brain. Okay, I didn't think we
I
did
don't
either.
think so.
And that for the sake of ease, I say we just evenly distribute it to them all.
I just wanted to take a look at, I wanted to do it in a really clear, even-handed way also. But for the people who were requesting not a lot and being given not a lot, is giving them $175 going to bump anybody above what they were actually asking for? You see what I mean?
Mhm.
Yes, it would.
Who would that be?
Probably the people that were asking for $250.
Why am I not finding this?
And to further complicate things, I have left action, so so the working artist who was on the grant is still willing to do the work with the Compass students, but I think the funds that we have already been allocated are enough. And I've sort of said to the Compass manager at Action Inc., if you decide you don't want to proceed with this project with the working artist, then you should let LCC know and return the funds. So I don't think any extra should be distributed. So that would bring it down to 19.
So here's the situation. This was due on February 2nd. We need to make this decision tonight because
Right.
I need to file this report tomorrow.
Right,
Mhm.
I'm going to pull in the numbers actually as we speak so that
Yep.
this can be done.
right.
So there's no waiting on this one. And it was, yeah, so this is all the monies that we've always been talking about that we finally, it all came to a fruition as I've been, as you know, developing all these systems. And then I was like, okay. And then Mina confirmed what I had said.
Liz, if you can, do you know how, or do you have the capability to make me a co-host? Because then I can share with you my screen with the panel book decision on it.
I already have it
Um,
up if you want to share too. And I have
Okay.
the one that's been condensed.
Okay,
All
so
right.
maybe we should make Rebecca a host.
Okay, let me, oops. Um, So I'm just letting, Lynn, are you there? Unmute.
Hi, yes.
Hi, Lynn. Okay, we don't
Hi.
have your video, but we have your audio, so I just wanted to welcome you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right, so Rebecca, I'm going to make you co-host and you're going to share your screen. So Lynn, I'm not sure how long you have been listening in, but we're trying to figure out the most equitable way of distributing an extra like $3,500 that we didn't realize we had at the last meeting when we were voting on how to distribute money. So,
Okay, thanks.
like I
Everyone-
said, it's a fun job just for distributing money.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So
Okay.
So we have the 20 grantees. And this is the applicant, and this is the amount we awarded
right,
in blue.
and the amount requested is the third column from the right.
Correct. Do you want me to see if I can put that in a different color? Or are you good?
No, it's fine.
I think we're good. I mean, if you want to look at that, you're so good. All right, so they asked for 27, they got 900. So if we give them the standard bump up, that looks like it would be fine, right?
So let's say it was 175 bump up. Or 176.30.
Why don't you put 175 for now?
Okay.
Okay, and then the Magnolia Library, they asked for 15, they got 445. Should we, I'll just ask if there's any questions. If there are questions, we'll discuss them. If not, we'll just do the 175 bump up. How's that?
Okay.
That's a way of getting
Good.
through it.
Yeah.
Okay, any questions on Magnolia Library?
No.
No,
Okay, hearing none, bump it up 175,
So be 620.
right. Okay, then there's Robert Zamarki. Am I pronouncing it correctly? He asked for 750, we gave him 375. Any questions? Hearing none, add 175.
So 550. Okay.
And then David Benjamin, the Cape Ann Community Band, 1450, we gave him 775. Any questions?
nope.
Okay, bump that one.
What is it? 725 plus 175. So 900.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay, and then the East Gloucester. Where'd you go?
Sorry, right
That's
there.
okay, jump down too far. Okay, the East Gloucester Elementary School. They had asked for 745, we gave them 500, and I think that's the one that was already submitted. Rebecca.
Yeah, you know what? And
They already-
that
Huh?
that is really strange because their program happened in November. So we didn't even approve them. So this is the one that you had sent me and I was looking
Right.
for it, couldn't find it. Their date was in November, so I don't know how they got on the fiscal year 22 agenda, but the money isn't even there to reimburse them yet. Do you know what
Okay,
I'm saying? We had to have
yeah,
this.
yeah, I do, I do. So what happened for the rest of you is that was it Aria, I think, sent me a request for reimbursement for the expenses for this project. For the amount, I believe the $500 that they were just notified that they got, but the project was done last November. So they'll be able to, Rebecca, correct me if I'm wrong, they'll be able to get the money, but not right away because the money has to be released to the city and then the city has to do it. Is that correct? Or?
I don't know. That's a good
Yeah.
question. I mean, I could say yes, but
Okay.
is this, we didn't vote on them. When did we vote on them officially to give them the money?
January,
Anyway,
So how could they assume that we were gonna?
retroactively, yeah, yeah, that could be a problem.
That's, yeah.
I will follow up on that.
so let's not bump them up.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah, we should check with Mina and see if we can even up.
Honor
for-
that. I don't know. if we can-
Exactly. We may not be able to give funds for a project that happened.
yeah.
different
So, but
fiscal
if they're going to be doing it again next year, then yes. Right? Then that's what we're giving them. So if it's going to be done next year, would we want to bump it up? That would bring it to 675. Or should we just leave it?
I think right now,
leave it.
you need to leave it,
Okay.
since it is in a gray area.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Jonathan Bayliss Society asked for 1,500. We gave them 500. Any questions about bumping that up? Hearing none? Do it. Okay, Muli Paul asked for 500. We gave her 250. Any questions about bumping that up?
No.
No questions. Good. All right, then Jay DePrima, sorry, asked for 650. We gave him 375. Any questions about bumping that? Nope, let's do it. Even 500. These people are going to be so happy. Okay, the Ipswich River. Oh, I'm sorry, you moved it again. Lily Paul, Jay DePrima, Music Dance EDU. They asked for 580. We gave them 5. This is one of the ones.
Yeah.
So we just give them an additional 80.
Yes, I think.
Any other ideas? No? Okay. So give them their full request. Ipswich River asked for 250. We gave them 200.
So we give them 50,
Give them a 50 and
fill it.
they grant their request. Okay. Then Backyard Growers, they asked for 3,000, which was a little unrealistic. Any questions about bumping them up, the 175?
No.
Okay. Go ahead and do that one. Then,
This is the one I think you guys should skip.
Okay.
Okay.
all right, so no bump up on that. Cape Ann Art Haven, they asked for 3,000 and we gave them for 50. Any questions about bumping that one up?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Lily Narbonne. They asked for 850. We gave them 630. Any questions about bumping that one up?
Well, that comes up to 805. I mean, do you want to just do 850 or do you want to keep it consistent? I mean, I'm gonna have to go back because we haven't spent the total 3,000.
Right, right.
Okay.
So we may, I would agree with you, just go to the 850 on this and then not, we
Yes.
would revisit this one. Is that okay with
Mhm.
everybody?
Yes.
Manship. They asked for 1,200. We gave them 6. Any questions about bumping that up?
No.
Okay, let's do it. Then Gregory Cook asked for 950. We gave 475. Any questions about bumping that up?
No.
Nope. All right. The next one is Anna Marie Giraldi. She asked for 1,500. We gave her 4. Any questions about bumping that up? Nope.
No.
All right. Sean Fullerton, Acoustic Memories for Seniors. He asked for 250. Should we just give him the 250?
Hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
Gloucester Celebration Corporation, the 400 Stories Project. They asked for 3,120. We gave them 300. Any problem with bumping that up?
No.
All right, then the Cape Ann Symphony. Youth Initiative, they asked for 800, we gave them 450. Any questions about bumping that one up?
No.
Okay,
I have a proposal, since it seems like the Gloucester Celebration Corporation, we gave them a significantly smaller amount than their request. I wonder if, you know, since we're trying to figure out what to do with the balance, if we toss it there.
okay, how much is the balance, Rebecca?
That's what I'm gonna calculate. So somebody could write this down. What the total that we need to meet is $12,526. So we had 9,000 and the difference was 3,526.
Okay.
So I'm gonna add this up now.
Wait. Sorry.
And somebody can definitely double check my math. I have no problem with that.
I had your spreadsheet, I mean, your spreadsheet will total it on it, but I can't do it on you.
Oh, because I
Screen
have
share.
all the denials and everything else on
Oh,
there.
oh, yeah, okay.
Sorry.
Okay. Mhm.
Ah, crap. I just hit a wrong number.
Oh, no.
This is what I'm afraid of. All right, somebody do this with me.
If you want to read them aloud, I have a calculator right here.
Oh, I
All
would
right,
love it.
great.
Okay, you ready, Karen?
Yep, yep,
1,075,
yep,
620.
Yep.
550,
yep.
900,
Mm-hmm,
500,
mm-hmm,
675, 425,
mm-hmm,
500,
mm-hmm,
580,
mm-hmm.
250,
250,
correct.
uh-huh,
650,
650,
300,
300,
625,
625,
850,
850,
775,
775,
650,
650,
575,
575,
250,
250,
475,
475,
and 625.
625. I get 11850. 11850. And you said it was 12526.
I also got 11850. Double check.
That leaves us a balance of 676.
Right.
Correct.
So there were a couple of places. The Gloucester 400th was one. I was just trying to think that are things that were really community wide or
Art
affected a lot
Haven,
of people. Art Haven was another.
Yeah, Manship, Art Haven, and the 400, I think, were the biggies.
And then
Was the
Backyard
backyard growers? Oh, okay.
Yeah, Backyard Growers was another one. Those.
yeah, those four, I think, are the big ones that I would suggest that we send more money to. And
All
they're
right,
very
so if
community.
we divide 676 up by 4, that's 169 each.
Okay. Perfect. So just tell me who we're giving the 169 to again.
To Backyard Growers, to Man.
She's going to put them in
Oh.
real time here, so let's let her find them. And there's Backyard Growers. It was 650.
Oh,
There you go.
backyard grow is up here. Sorry.
Yeah. There
Okay,
it
so
is.
650 plus what? 169. you said?
169.
Yeah.
whoops, I got like all these numbers, 650 plus 169. Okay, so 819. Okay,
Then Art Haven,
oh, that one's right here.
That's
Art Heaven
down
Mobile,
below.
right? Okay,
Yep.
that'd be 794.
perfect.
Manship,
Right there, okay,
that would be 944.
okay.
The last one was the 400.
Hmm.
Okay, 475 plus plus 169, that's 644. Lots of
Perfect.
fours for the 400th.
Mhm.
Great, I will
They'll
stop
think it
sharing
has some
them.
significance.
So do you want to quickly review, or are we good? You want to just, I can stop sharing.
Yeah.
Why don't we just look down the list one more time, just
Okay.
so we're, okay, so the Writers Center is getting a little less than half. The library is getting a little bit more than a third. Grasshopper and Friends. Okay. Community Band. Getting more than half. East Gloucester Elementary, well, they're getting that. I'm gonna scroll down.
Mhm.
Um,
Dogtown.
Bayless. Yeah, Dogtown in multiple dimensions. It's getting a little less than that. Mooly Paul, almost, yeah, she's doing well. Jada Prima. Okay. Autistic, I am fantastic, the full amount. I mean, we all were pretty impressed with that, and it's a needful audience.
Hi,
Hi, Tricia.
hi, everybody. Hi, Karen.
Hi, I
Hello.
wonder why my name's on your Zoom screen.
Because you sent me the link
Oh,
and the
Oh,
link
so
is
she was
specific.
able to get in on it. That's
Yeah,
interesting.
it took me a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know how to rename yourself?
Well,
If you-
I think that once I get sent the
Let me see.
link for
Oh.
myself, yeah, I can do the rename, sure.
Let's just stay focused on this
Yeah,
one.
let's, sorry, yeah. Stay focused. Okay, so I'm sorry. So where were we?
We are on the Ipswich River Wildlife Sanctuary.
Right. Okay, so 250, 250. No. Backyard growers. That's still one of the lowest ones as a percentage, but. Okay,
Well, if the East Gloucester thing falls apart, then we'll have to reallocate that sum.
well, no, we won't be able to. This is the last meeting
Okay, well then,
that we can vote. And so if that falls apart, that would just be left over for next year.
okay, well, maybe we'll give them one next year.
Tricia, to catch you up, we found out that we had some funds that we hadn't anticipated. So we're trying to redistribute it. And these are all our grantees for this year. So we're figuring this out.
So backyard growers, and then the story window, that's the Compass Youth Program,
We're gonna
Art
see.
Haven. Okay. Then that play, 850, Manship. Okay. Greg Cook, Wonderland Spectacle, sorry, Wonderland Spectacle. Anne Marie Giraldi, Women's Immigration Story. Okay, next, yeah, acoustic for seniors, right, and then the 400th. Okay, Cape Ann Symphony. All right. Any further questions or reallocating that anyone wants to suggest?
Rebecca, if you send me this list, I will then email each recipient and let them know of the adjusted amount.
Okay, yeah, I will. I'm gonna put this all into Smart Simple, into approved. I have to switch all that, and then the annual report will be completed. And with regards to elementary school, I'm gonna keep it as of right now, as a fiscal year 22 request, because that's
Right.
where we have it listed, and so that we can close out our annual report and we can handle it from there.
Right. And I will get in touch with them and figure out, where things got confused and,
Yeah, so so this will be done tomorrow, which means that I am officially done. So I don't know who
Okay.
is taking over as treasurer, but I need
Yeah.
to hand them the post office key.
well, in the interim, I'll take the post office key. We're not going to have 5 members for a bit of time here. So we're not going to be able to do anything. Unfortunately, there are no other official actions that we need to take in the near term, I believe. So Karen and I were both on the agenda for the city council meeting yesterday to have our appointment by the mayor referred to O&A. So for Lynn and Trisha, the way all this works is you submit a letter of interest to the mayor, and everybody's has just been 1 page, and you can attach a resume if you want. It's just expressing interest in a couple paragraphs about why you're interested in serving, your interest in the arts. A resume if you want. And then the mayor refers that to city council. And if you look at the city council agenda, it's listed under mayor's appointments, I believe, and to be referred to O&A. And then that committee takes up the list of the mayor's suggested appointments and goes through them. They may invite you to come to a meeting. Actually, I did. And we had a nice little conversation. And then they vote yes and send it back to city council, and then the city council approves. And then you have to take an online ethics training. Okay. About what disclosures you need to make and the conflict of interest rules and all those kinds of things.
It's
And then you get sworn.
pre-recorded.
It's one of those pre-recorded training things. And then you get sworn in, and then you are an official voting member. So because and each local council has to have a minimum of 5 members to be able to function. And then at meetings, a majority have to be present. So if we have 5 members, we need 3 people to show up at a meeting to be able to vote and do things.
Okay.
And the positions, there's a chair, and there's a treasurer, and there's a secretary. And Karen is our secretary. She's done a fabulous job. And Rebecca has been our treasurer. And she really, I can't imagine how many hours. I owe you another drink, Rebecca. How many hours she has spent digging through all this stuff, because there was a bit of chaos left. Plus, the Mass Cultural Council switched to a new software system.
Oh, boy. That's
So,
always- yeah.
to the extent that we had figured out how to function under the previous system, there were changes and of course glitches and everything like that. But Rebecca has been like really, really digging in. And that's why she was able to finally identify this additional $3,526 that we had, that we could distribute to artists, which is great.
It is great.
So,
And I have the final report for fiscal year 21 that I've kept track of. So what I'm going to do is I will actually send the fiscal year 21 Excel spreadsheet that I have, because what you have to realize is that once fiscal year 21 is closed, no one can access it again. So to have that record moving forward for all of you is going to be so beneficial. So whatever I have that I've created, I will send you copies of all of it. It's all on my Google Drive. And I think that you'll have a nice foundation built to launch from.
So you're
Thank
leaving.
you.
I am.
Yes.
Yes, I am.
She's leaving at the end of the month, and Shayla is leaving
I'm leaving
also.
too. Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear it.
I know. And you know, another,
Tracy, you're gonna be
another-
great.
another position that I think we want to fill, if either Trisha or Lynn
Lynn? Yeah.
Lynn are interested, is where Lucas from Dogtown Books used to be our sort of PR social media person. So we're looking for someone, I think, to fill that role too.
Yeah, I'd be interested to know what that is. I definitely couldn't do the accounting.
Yeah, me either.
But yeah,
The
yeah.
social media, yeah, okay. Well, we'll get to that.
Okay.
And, you know, we're,
And I can ask Karen off, off meeting about the getting the letter to the mayor's office and that, if that's okay, Karen.
Of course.
Yeah, thanks.
You're welcome.
so, let's see, let me just pull up the agenda here. So I think we need a motion on the record to approve those allocations.
We do.
Motion
You
to
know,
approve.
All right, motion by Laura.
Yep.
Is there a second?
Seconded.
By Rebecca. I'll take the roll. Shayla.
I approve.
Okay, Karen,
I approve.
Laura,
Approve.
Rebecca,
I approve.
and I approve as well. So it's unanimous. And I think that crosses all Ts and dots all Is for
My
the
God,
FY 22
I think so.
expending, the word is expending these funds. I used to think
Expenditures,
it was allocation, but it's expend, so.
expenditures, unencumbered, encumbered. I have learned a
Yeah,
whole new world of jargon.
fascinating stuff.
Yeah, when you use the unencumbered terminology, I was like, whoa, she knows what she's talking about.
You would think.
I think you could do a stand-up comic routine on this stuff now. It could be
Yeah.
fun for you. So, all right. So we need to discuss potential new members and method of proceeding. I covered that a little bit, but why don't we have Trisha and Lynn introduce yourselves to us? We had a little bit of a preview before you arrived on the scene, but Trisha, do you want to introduce your cat also, which is right behind you
Usually
there?
he's really camera shy. His name is Fergus. Usually he's really camera shy, but
I heard it.
I don't know. He likes you guys. He likes the arts.
Okay. So tell us about yourself.
Well, I've lived in Gloucester since 2006. I'm from Arlington. Karen and I knew each other growing up
Mhm.
in Arlington.
Yeah.
We know each other from art classes, so always been interested in art. And I went into the sign business when I got out of high school. I studied sign painting at Butera School of Art, which was a small art college on Beacon Street. And then
I know it quite well. I know it quite well.
You're
Been
kidding me.
there. Yeah.
You're kidding me. You went
Nope.
there?
I have a really good friend who went there while I went to New England School of Art and Design, and we would go back and forth. We lived on Com Ave. That's really cool.
That is so cool. Yeah. Well, I thought I was going to college, and I was like, when I was in my late 20s, early 30s, like, wait a minute, I didn't get a degree. So then sign painting paid for me to go back to school. And I graduated in 2007 from the museum school / Tufts. And so I started doing photography, which I always loved. But so I do both sign painting and photography. And I did the mural of Vincent Farini downtown, the poet laureate tribute to him. And I did the sign for Short and Main and the lettering on the brick there. And I used to do all the hand lettering for the Red Sox when they were expanding the park for about 6 or 7 opening days until I couldn't take it anymore. It's exhausting work. And yeah, so yeah. I
And
would
you're a
love to-
talented photographer.
Thank you, Karen. Yeah, so I do photography and yeah, my parents emigrated here from Ireland, so they didn't know anything about school, which is why I thought I was going to college when I was at Butera, but it was fine because it paid for me to go to college, and travel a lot. I just made it to Ireland and Italy between Delta and Omicron. Did a photo shoot in Italy on the Amalfi Coast, which was a blast. And yeah, so I don't know. Does anybody have any questions? I don't really know what I'm supposed to say about myself. I know Laura, I know Shayla, and Karen, of course. And I feel like I know your name, Elizabeth. I feel like I know your name. Yeah. Yeah.
I was on the board of Gloucester Stage and
Okay.
was the president there. So if you ever, go to Gloucester Stage or see any of their things, that
Yeah.
might be where.
Yeah. Maybe.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. Well, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as
And
well.
thanks for stepping up,
Yeah, of
it's
course.
really,
Yeah,
really
it's,
appreciated.
yeah.
Great.
I'm sorry that I'm crossing paths with Shayla, because that would be fun to be doing this together. But how long have you been doing it, Shayla?
3 years,
Yeah.
3 years. That's the, the time frame.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's a
It's a-
3-year
it's a-
term.
Okay, it's
Right?
a 3-year term, but if you're appointed to fulfill somebody else's term, you
Yes.
get that amount,
portion.
and then you need to be reappointed for a full 3-year term.
I see.
So
Okay.
Shayla's 3-year term isn't actually up until another year, but she's been on 3 years. So
Yeah.
that's how that.
So I will say, I really, because having been self-employed since the, early 80s, I don't know a lot about protocol and meetings and,
Mhm.
so it will be really good just to keep me looped in on
Mhm.
that, and just be patient with me if I don't know how all of the systems work in that way. But
I have to say, there is a lot to learn.
yes,
Like, I was like, was a teacher.
That's
art
right.
teacher
that's
for
right.
so many years. So I'm kind of like, and then working in like a dynamic of like a treasurer and taking the minutes, I was like, whoa,
Yeah,
it's
that's,
so
yeah,
different.
that's why I can't do those things, but PR might be good for me.
Okay.
Yeah, you'd be great at PR, actually.
Yeah.
Cool.
so, Okay.
Okay, so Lynn, do you want to turn on your camera, or maybe
I don't know
you
how.
don't-
I don't know why. Usually I'm sorry you can't see me. I just look so fabulous. I'm in my fourth COVID. I have COVID, so I'm in my 4th day quarantine.
Oh,
Oh,
I
So
thought you were going to say you
don't really
got it for the 4th
fabulous. You're
time.
probably better off,
Oh, you poor thing.
I'm really feeling fine though. Truthfully, I sound a little nasally, but I'm doing fine.
Yeah,
Um,
after Lynn reached out to me, I suggested we get together. So was it last Wednesday night? Or
Yes.
Thursday night? Yeah, Wednesday night, we had a drink and shared some appetizers and sitting at a high top and had a lovely conversation. And then Friday morning, I get a text from her saying, I have COVID.
I'm like,
Oh
oh
my
no,
goodness.
what a way to start my relationship, right? Oh.
I immediately scheduled an appointment at CVS for that afternoon and one at Walgreens in Maine for Monday. And both of mine were
And
negative.
you're
So
clear. Thank goodness. Thank goodness.
anyway, but I'm glad you're feeling better, Lynn, and
Yes,
not
you.
suffering too much with it. So tell us about your interest and yourself. And
Yes.
I already told them about the goats.
Oh, good. That's the best part. And my goats are going to
The
be
goats?
delivering I have 3 female goats, a mom and two babies, and they're all going to be delivering this week.
Oh,
I
This
know.
God, bring over.
2 dates are the 10th, the 12th, and the 14th. So I'm going to have all these little Valentine's babies. It's going to be so cute.
where are you?
I'm in Rust Island.
Oh, beautiful.
Like
What a great
the
place for.
Lobsterland exit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Trisha, I was suggesting that we have a council retreat with baby goat yoga.
Definitely.
Yeah, good idea.
Baby goat photography.
Yeah, there you go.
Anyway,
And
yeah.
painting and whatever else. Okay, so you want me to tell a little bit about me? Oh
Yes.
my, there's so much to tell.
There
All
is.
right, so I'm a retired physical therapist. My family moved here to Rust Island. This was my folks bought this house in Rust Island in '68. So I've been coming here for summers, you know, a good part of my life. And then after high school, I lived here with my grandmother for a while, you know, packing and cutting fish and cleaning houses and landscaping and everything in Rockport and Gloucester. And then went to college, went to North Shore Community College, then Simmons College. That's where I got my PT degree. Worked here for a while, the area, and then moved to Nevada, to Las Vegas in '81.
Wow.
And yeah, I had my family. I have lots of kids, lots of grandkids, a few husbands. Got rid of the last one recently. It's been great.
Few husbands, few goats, you know.
You know, you gotta be positive, right? So yeah, so I moved back here permanently at the beginning of the pandemic. And I'm a watercolor painter, and I love to collect art and support artists. I volunteer at North Shore and Rockport and Gloucester Stage. And Liz and I, when we were meeting, she's going, Rust Island? Wait a minute. You know, who's your mom? Well, it turns out my mom has hosted, you know, our actors from Gloucester Stage for years.
Sure.
So Liz knew my mom. Isn't that cool?
Oh,
Yeah, so we had a little connection there we didn't know about. So I've got tons of energy and I'm very enthusiastic. So, this, you know, being able to give grants to artists and music people, you know, it's just right up my alley. So I thought
Yeah.
that'd be fun. And it's a way for me to get to know people in Gloucester, you know. Yeah, so what else? Oh, in my physical therapy profession, I was very involved in the Nevada Physical Therapy Association and the American Physical Therapy Association. So I had a little bit, I've been a president and I've a lot of other chair positions, but it's been a long time since I've had to, you know, the protocols that you guys use. So
yeah.
I'm kind of like you, Trisha. I'll need a little some teaching in that area. But have you got any questions for me?
I do. What do you like to paint?
I love to paint landscapes, seascapes, goats. No, goats is my thing now. I've just started painting some goats and chickens and everybody, you know, everybody's like, everybody does landscape, seascapes. Lynn, what do you love the most? You love your goats. That's what a couple of my artists, Paul George, I paint with Paul George and Caleb Stone and Rosalie Sadati said, you need to paint goats. You love your goats. So I've done a couple of really, really great, I think. You'll have to see them and see what you think. But yeah, so that's I like that. I've taught art to a Get Smart with Kids. We had a grant in Nevada, Get Smart with Art program for underserved kids community. And the grant paid for our supplies and to pay the artists for their prep time and their teaching. And I love that. There was 8 to 15-year-olds. So I taught pastel, watercolor, and painting with scissors, you know, a la Matisse, those cutouts, you know, the get positive spaces and whatnot. So yeah, I love that. So I was actually looking at applying for a grant to do that through North Shore or Rockport if they were interested, because I was volunteering there. And that I even went on the Mass Cultural Council and
Yeah,
their little work, that little in-service education about how to do a grant. And so I got a little bit of orientation. And,
Lynn, I was on the Arlington Cultural Council. I used to live in Arlington for 2 cycles. And I have to say, one of the benefits of being on the Cultural Council is it teaches you how to write a compelling grant, what funds are available. So I've received grants before. So I think, you know, if you're interested in pursuing that, this is a great way to kind of learn about it. And you know, because you're on the council, you can still apply for funding. You and Trisha still would be eligible for funding.
oh, that's cool. I saw your name on one of the
Right.
This there, and I was like, was that her? Yeah, because
Yeah,
I was
that's-
sure if there was a
You just
conflict.
can't, you just can't vote on your own grant. That's
Oh,
all.
Right.
okay, yeah, you're
That's-
right. Dave
That's
from
fair. That's more than fair.
You
Yeah.
have to
Yeah.
recuse yourself. And Lynn, I have a quick question. Do you still paint with Paul George on Saturdays?
Yes,
And
I do, but he's right now, he just had his knee replaced, so he's
Oh.
on a little hiatus. Probably
Because
till spring.
I painted with Paul George for 10 years, so we can talk about that another
Oh,
time.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Definitely. I love that man.
Nice.
I
nice.
started painting with him in Monhegan.
Oh,
and
beautiful.
Yeah,
Montego.
years, yeah, like 20 years ago, I think, maybe even more, maybe 30 years, I don't know.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah.
Great painter.
Yes.
Well, so this is excellent. And I want to say to both of you, don't feel the least bit intimidated by all the protocols and the technicalities and stuff. When I became chair, I said, okay, my job is to make sure we don't screw up legally and get ourselves in trouble. I'm a lawyer. I'm not an artist at all. My father was a photographer, but
Yeah.
I don't do art. I appreciate art.
Appreciate it. That's
I'm
good.
a patron. I'm a patron. I bought one of Rebecca's paintings. I love it.
There you go.
Nice.
Anyway,
Nice.
so yeah, don't feel the least bit intimidated by that.
Okay.
I
I'm just gonna
keep
ask-
a watchful eye on all of
Yeah.
that.
I'll feel comfortable asking questions. I just
Yes.
wanted to say it out
Yeah.
up front that I really don't know anything about those things.
Yeah,
I've been a loose
And-
cannon
and-
all my life.
yeah. Karen's been great about paying attention to all this stuff too, and
Yeah,
she's lots
yeah,
of good experience.
yeah.
It's all laid out. It's just there's a huge amount of fine print to wade through to, if you want to read it all. But so good. Any other
I did
questions?
send- I wanted to tell you, I did send you like the story of my whole life letter to the mayor. Did you see it?
I didn't. So you already sent your letter in?
I sent it to you because I need you to help me edit it.
Oh,
And
when did you
anybody
do
else want
that?
to look at it, I sent it this morning.
Okay. I
Your
haven't seen
email?
it yet.
Yeah.
Oh,
First I sent a draft and then I looked at it. I was like, oh, there's all these, because I did it so early this morning. There was a lot of spelling. So then I did a second draft and sent it to you. Hopefully you get it. If not, I'll send it again.
okay. Maybe.
It's way,
Yeah.
probably way more information than you need, but I wasn't sure how much to tell the mayor. So I'm just sending you a draft to get your help.
Okay. I'm happy to look at that. I don't see it, so I don't know where it went. It may be lost in cyberspace or something.
Okay,
Um,
send it again.
but I'll send you an email and then but we'll take care of it. We'll get
Okay.
it.
Good.
And then I just was wondering if Elizabeth, you could tell us how long you've been doing this, and Laura too. I'm just curious about what everybody else, Rebecca. Yeah.
I have been doing it for a little over 3 years. I think I filled out a short period of somebody else's term, and then I am now completing on officially February 14th, my 3-year term. And so
Oh,
I'm up to be appointed for another 3-year term.
I see. I see.
And Karen, I'm sorry, is also being appointed to a 3-year term. And so we're already before city council to do that.
Okay.
So, yeah.
But
Okay.
Trisha, that's something to think of, that because you're going to be filling, you could be filling someone's seat who's cycling off early. So if you
Right.
didn't feel comfortable making a 3-year commitment, either you or Lynn, you could say, okay, I'm going to take this interim, position. And then if you love it, then when you're up for the 3-year term,
Yeah, I
then
think
you
that makes
sign on.
sense. Yeah, I think
This
that's
is
Actually,
something I
I
wish I
think
had
they do
known.
it. I think they tell you. I think they tell you you're being appointed to fill out this. term. They give
all
you
right.
your
So you
option.
can't say I want to fill out. Okay. Okay.
Ah.
Okay.
So
Then
most
I-
likely, yeah, okay.
But that's the
And
way it's
Laura-
going to work. It's going to
Mm.
default to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Elizabeth, why did you want to get involved? Just because you love the arts?
Yeah, I'd been on the board of Gloucester Stage for 12 years and
Yep.
president for 3. And I am a firm believer in term limits, but in the absence of term limits, just to make room for new people to come in. So I stepped down from Gloucester stage, and then I was sitting around like, well, what else can I do? And Amanda roped me into this just to, with a little bit of false advertising.
That was my experience. Amanda kind of roped me in.
Amanda
Yeah.
who? Amanda.
Amanda Nash. Do you know Amanda?
I know who Amanda is. Yep, I know
Yeah.
Amanda.
Yeah.
I mean, when we say roped in, it was with love,
Yeah,
she was
yeah.
just kind of like, she sort of downplayed it, like, oh, once a year, you just kind of go through grants and da 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 da. But
Yeah.
now,
Yeah.
we do now some kind of like, there's community stuff, community
Well, we don't
outreach
have to do
thing.
that.
Well, we
But,
did it, and it's
Yeah, we
important.
did. We did more than was the minimum required in the
Right.
past
Yeah.
year, and I think it
Right.
kind of burned people out.
Right.
And it was just made things a lot more difficult, especially in this era that we're all going through.
Right. Right. In
So it was
COVID.
kind of like,
Yes.
yeah,
Yep.
you know.
Yep. Yep.
Are your meetings every month?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so once a month, and then you converse with emails before the meetings or about issues, or how do
So we cannot deliberate privately. We can only deliberate about things we're going to vote on in a public meeting.
okay. Mhm.
So we can talk about scheduling issues and things like that, kind of off the record. But any substantive discussions have to take place in an official public meeting. So this Zoom session, if other members of the public want to show up, they can, they can,
Okay.
and be, listening in and raise their hand and ask to speak. And when we meet in person, if members of the public want to be there, they can, and occasionally somebody has come, not very often. We're not as interesting as the planning board.
When meeting in person, where does that take place?
The harbor master's office, which is a lovely location right down
Yep.
there on the pier.
I know where it
you
is,
know.
yeah.
It used to be in City Hall, but the conference room that used to be available for things like this has been turned to just some administrative office. I can't remember who's in there, but
Right.
that space is no longer available. So,
Okay.
Um,
And Laura, what about you?
I would say that Liz roped me in.
we need an actress. We need a theater person.
And that
Oh,
was
okay.
sort of we met and talked about it. And because at that point there wasn't anybody really that had experience in theater or live performance on the Cultural Council.
Oh, well, that's
Um,
important.
So I kind of ticked that box. And then I think I joined in the spring of 2020.
Mhm.
Oh.
But I don't really remember.
Right.
I was sworn in over Zoom and everything. So it has to have been like maybe the summertime 2020, but it was certainly like,
Mhm.
Okay.
I joined because I did like the idea of being part of the process of supporting artists and supporting other cultural things,
Yes.
for, like backyard growers, like that's cultural as well as creative.
Sure is. Yeah.
And then for my own, agenda to learn about the grant process for my own projects and stuff, because
Sure.
I do more writing now than I do acting. And I'd like to produce stuff that I've written. So it's
Great.
helpful to, I learn
Cool.
better by doing. So being on the council has really helped me to begin to understand how this process.
Yes. Learning by doing.
Yeah. Very kinesthetic. Yeah.
Yes.
So
Thanks.
that's me.
Thanks. And Rebecca, what kind of work do you do?
So I'm involved with US figure skating as well as an artist. I have a studio at Cripple Cove Studios. I graduated in May of 2021 from Montserrat College of Art.
Oh, good.
So I
for
went
you.
back to I went back to school, but my profession is in figure skating. My background is in figure skating. And when I moved up here, I decided to go back to school while I was in figure skating. So, yeah.
And show Trisha Hennessy.
Oh, also, when you were at New England School of Art and Design, I used to do classes there in the summer in between Butera. I
That's so
loved that.
funny.
I loved that school. I
It was
really
the
liked
same.
that
Yeah,
school.
I went from there because it was on Newbury Street.
That's right.
Graduated in
First
1983.
first
and then
block, right?
yeah. It
Yeah,
was,
that's a good
yeah,
block.
like I said, we had my friend and I had an apartment on Com Ave, and she went to Butera and I went there. And then I went to Northeast. Sorry,
I wonder if I know her.
that would be so funny. But then I went to Northeastern because they were tied in. Now New England School of Art and Design got folded in, as you know, to Suffolk University.
That's
But
right.
at the time, it was, you could go to
Thought
Northeastern,
about that. Yeah.
get your
yeah.
degree from Northeastern.
Yep.
And like I said, then, but I was in graphic design and advertising,
Okay.
and I ended up in the hotel industry working for Sonesta. So, who knows where your life is going to take you.
Yeah.
But
But
yeah,
figure
so-
skating is really, really what you did.
but figure skating has been with me since I was 3 years old, and I am the vice chair of high school programming for US figure skating nationwide. So
Wow, that's exciting.
yeah, so, and I do a lot of officiating, and I travel for events and such like that. So
Yeah, that's exciting.
yeah, the men's long is on tonight, although sometimes I'm having this little issue with watching the Olympics
I know a
in
lot of people
China.
are.
It's so controversial for me mentally, but
I know, but it's your
I
wheelhouse.
know all those
It's your
people. I
wheelhouse.
know all of them.
Yeah.
I have friends that are over there. But yeah, so I basically got roped into this as well by Jane
And
Kennedy.
Do you live in Gloucester?
I do. You
Where-
have to
In
be, you have
Gloucester.
to be a resident. of
That was
Gloucester.
going to be my next question. Whereabouts in Gloucester are you?
I'm I'm up on the hill across from the Shaws on Eastern Ave,
Oh, yeah. Okay.
way up on the hill.
Yes,
Um,
but those are fairly new.
Uh,
Those ones?
For 9 years. There's the ones next to us are new.
Yeah, because my husband's family had a house over at Good Harbor since the 40s.
Oh,
So we're driving by, seeing that construction all the time those years. We sold it about 7 years
well,
ago.
one of them's coming up soon if anyone is interested.
Okay.
I'd
okay,
like
they
a new
look nice.
neighbor.
They look
But
nice.
anyway, so yeah, yeah, so I've been on it for 2 years, a little over 2 years, 2.5 years,
Okay.
I would say. So I thought my term was up this year like Shayla, but my term is actually up next year for some reason. And I think because I came in and filled out I don't know.
Just
It
going,
was-
yeah, and it's COVID,
Right.
right? And it's pandemic time. Every time is weird.
But I
I'm
would say
weird.
I would kind of support with what Shayla said to a certain extent, is that, I had anticipated this being meeting 4 times a year, possibly 5, if that. But fortunately for the community,
Yeah.
this council has become extremely active. So, which is great, and it benefits the community. So,
Let me just interject. I think that, once Lynn and Trisha are on, and Karen and I will have been ahead of you in that process, we'll have 5 people again. And we should have a meeting and talk about, like, what do we really need to do?
Yeah.
I'll be able to tell you, this is the minimum we have to do
Right.
to
Kind of
keep
assess.
getting funding from the MCC,
Yeah.
which is our reason for existing.
Yeah.
And then, here are other things we could do. We don't have to. And just really realistically look at, we're all busy people. How much energy do we have? What's the value added if we're putting more of our energy into doing something through the Gloucester Cultural Council as opposed to any of the many other activities we're all involved in? So we don't have to meet every month. We'd need to meet at some point during the summer. The next thing that'll be up for us will be preparatory to the next round of grants. We will have to review our priorities that are posted, so people applying for grants know, where to aim in terms of our review process. And that has to be, published, I believe it's in September.
August.
August, okay. So that, that's the first step, and then the grant process opens and people know what we're looking for. And the applications come in, and then we start reviewing them, and then we may have questions for people.
Okay.
So there's a space to get more information if we feel the need for more information. And then the first voting meeting is, we decide if there are any applicants we're just not giving any money to, we're rejecting them. Those denial letters have to go out, and people have 15 days to appeal the denial. So we have to give that space. And then after that has happened, then we vote to expend the funds that we have to the remaining applicants and figure out how much to give to who.
I see.
So really the workload, starts with that discussion about, do we want to change the priorities that we've been using for the past couple of years? And maybe we will, because it'll be for the 400th is the next round,
Yeah, yeah.
and then just, the process I just described. But from now until then, unless a problem comes up, we really don't have required tasks.
Right.
So.
Okay.
The only thing that we might want to do once the grants are out and all those things, and when the things that we have funded start to happen, is that we
Right.
might like have liaisons or someone that, just to go to be there to,
Yeah.
be there basically.
Yeah.
Say, you're welcome and thank you
Yeah.
for doing this.
Yeah.
But it's not required.
So I have a question about the 400th. And my husband's doing the website for the 400th. And I just don't know, I'm meeting everybody, they're coming to the house, and I just don't know if that puts me in a position of not partial, or is that okay? Or,
I don't think it does. I think it's fine.
Yeah.
okay.
It's not a conflict of interest.
Okay,
No,
that's the.
You're not
that's what-
running
No.
for office.
No, yeah, I just,
That's later you can.
I'm already really liking them, and, so I
Yeah.
just,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, not to worry.
Yeah.
It's a small community, and people know other people,
Yes. Yeah.
So, when you take the training, you'll see, the conflict of interest.
That's right. Yeah.
Stuff is, it's pretty clearly written, and what to do, and,
Okay.
Yeah,
So.
that's fine.
yeah, not to worry about that.
Okay.
I have a question, Liz, about the
Yeah.
list of everything that you were allocating. So did those people have to, if they're interested in getting funds for this next round, this next year, do they reapply? Or
Yeah.
do you just go back to this list and, no, they have to reapply just like before?
Yep.
It's an annual system for each fiscal year. So this is FY22,
Mm-hmm.
and there'll be another round of grants for FY23.
Okay, and then the other question I have is, Rebecca, how did you find that $3,000?
It was, I'm just going to keep it short and sweet. It was through the annual reporting and working with the MCC.
Yeah.
Wasn't it basically
increase-
that people had been, they had been given a grant, but they never submitted for reimbursement, so there was some money sitting there?
So that is
Some of it?
what happens is the monies, all right. So what happens is at the end of the year, the monies that, for example, fiscal year 21, we have several candidates that I've reached out to that have not submitted their reimbursement forms. They have responded as to their positions, which is that they're no longer doing their programs. So that money is no longer going to be utilized. That money is not technically ours. It's not the municipalities, it's not that money is there because they didn't use it. And that money goes to the following fiscal year. So whatever's left over from fiscal year 21, that is unencumbered, that has not been utilized is therefore allocated to the fiscal year 23. So let's say in fiscal year 23, the MCC gives us 10,000, whatever did not get utilized will be put into that, and that is found through all of the annual reports.
Okay.
But there were, I think the MCC has now created a system, software that makes it easier for LCCs to now record all of the actions that are happening. So as treasurer, you're processing all the grant applications. Once the secretary sends out the letters of acceptance, as these events are happening, all their documentation is coming in, and you have to make sure that the documentation is accurate and that the documentation matches. For example, we found out that one particular event, as we noted in this evening's discussion, didn't match the criteria that was. So you have to, you just have to be alert and catch these things before you submit it to the city, and then you submit it to the city with your signature, and then they send it off. And you just have to, it's keeping track of the grantees throughout the year and what they are doing and how they're doing things. If they're actually, because sometimes grantees change halfway through the year. We've had that happen. And then we have to vote on it to see if we want to allow them to change gears. And so I think one of the things that as I said to Liz and to everyone, that I've built is this infrastructure for the GCC moving forward that they can depend on, so they actually have an accurate financial understanding.
Mhm.
Nice. Thank you.
Sounds like you did that.
Yeah,
Really made things clear.
a
Yeah.
huge, huge task. So yeah, I mean, grantees can ask for an extension. They can ask to be permitted to make certain changes in their project. They can't ask to do a completely different thing, but those might be things that we would need to meet to vote on, if they come up. So
Okay.
Are they required, after they've received their money and they've instituted their program, are they required to give you a report of what they've done? Or is there
The
any-
requirements are that they need a W-9. There is an LCC form that gives them, yes, it's a report that this was done. And then any advertising, any invoices, any documentation that can support that the event actually happened and that it happened according to the criteria that we as a council have created and commit to.
Okay.
I think it's, pretty standard stuff for grants, that you have to say, yeah, I did it, and here's proof I did it,
Mhm.
So Laura, did you want to say something?
No, I was just agreeing. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, so any other questions you want to get into now, or should we move on to number 5 on the agenda, which is to vote on the logo?
Just really quick, if you were interested in the treasurer position, and that's why you were asking those questions, one of the things that Kay and I kind of tried to do this year was, in the old day, in the previous, and still today, every 2 weeks you have to go to the mailbox and check the mailbox and for any kind of documentation so you can process it. We did strongly encourage, and I would say 70% of the grantees did, is to send everything in to me electronically via PDF. So that saved a lot of, that was time saving.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Mhm.
But I do want to say, anyone who wants to be treasurer, I will help them. I will guide them through the
Be a
process.
coach? You're going to be a coach?
I will. This is what I used
Gonna
to do
teach
for a
them how to
living.
do triple axles?
I'm gonna teach them how to do triple Excel spreadsheets. That's what I'm gonna teach them.
Okay, great. Karen, if I make you, all right, I'm going to stop you from being co-host, Rebecca.
Do
And I'm
you
gonna make,
still need me on the meeting or are we almost done?
we're almost done. I think we're
Okay.
just gonna do the
Logo.
Okay.
logo. So Karen, I'm going to make you co-host. Do you have a copy of the banner
I
that was
don't,
made up?
I don't know that I could dig that up right now.
I have a
Everybody saw the
picture.
banner, right?
I have a big
Yeah.
picture of it from the ice sculpture and it was perfect.
Yeah.
Karen,
Yeah,
perfect. You did a great job.
Thank
really.
you. You
That
guys
was
are
impressive. I mean, that you pulled that together and got it done for what, $26 or something? I mean, yeah.
100 and something,
Okay.
100, yeah, 126. All right, so let me figure out how to share my.
Am I still
screen.
sharing? Because I can show you it. I've got it, just pulled it up.
Oh,
Not,
wait a sec. Let me make you co-host again.
I'll
I
pull up
think
my
you can,
photo.
I think you can both be co-hosts at the same time.
It
Try
came out
both.
really, it looks so good. Can you see it?
No,
no.
I
I'm
can't.
sorry. How,
I-
wait, there we go.
Nothing's
Right
happening.
there.
Yeah,
There you go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
oh, it has the fisherman. and-
Yeah.
Oh,
I thought it was perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh,
That
it's
looks
very
nice.
So,
And-
so that's why I asked to have this put on the agenda, because when I sent letters to our grant recipients, a lot of them very thoughtfully said, we want to make sure we mention you in our promotional materials. Do you have a logo that we could
Right.
share? And we haven't had a logo until now. So we could use the logo that was on the banner. Or there's a whole bunch of other logos that are optional that I designed on Canva. So I'm going to share my screen. Can you see?
Yeah.
All right, so the one, these are all logos I played around with. This was the one that I used on the banner.
Mhm.
But there's certainly other options as well, which might be kind of a lengthy conversation. It's just, if we wanted to be consistent and you guys like this one on the banner with the MCC logo, then we could just continue to use that. If you would prefer something different or even to design something new altogether, we could do that too.
I do like the one with the sailboat as well.
Me too, me too.
Yeah.
I
I'm a
do like
sailor.
that.
I'm a
You
sailor.
like this
I love
one?
that.
I
Yeah.
do.
The schooner.
I do. I like the combination of script with the serifed letter underneath it. It just has more interest to it to
This
me.
is from
but-
our sign designer. expert.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Go with
So-
the sign designer.
I
Awesome.
like that. That's lively and it's got some motion to it and it's yeah, I really like that, Karen.
Thanks.
Yeah.
So what do you guys want to do? Or do you want to table this to our next meeting?
Well, people are going to be publicizing stuff. I mean, I think we should just go ahead and vote because who knows when our next meeting is going to be, frankly.
Okay.
Yeah. So I like that one. And I
Or-
find
and this
I
is the-
find using the one that's already on the banner makes a certain amount of sense, but I don't
Yeah, I
know.
mean, do you wanna, then you have to redo the whole banner. I mean,
You don't
I
have to
don't know,
redo the whole banner. You
you don't
don't have to
think so?
redo it. I mean, it's something you could segue into, at a later date if you wanted to, but it's just.
Do another banner.
I
If we're
mean,
gonna need
it
a
doesn't
banner.
matter because I'm off of it, but I like things that are a little more concise and almost stamp like, so I love your circular one personally, but that's just me. I tend
Yeah,
to have
this
that
Where's the
more
circular
clean-
one?
This one,
Oh,
like
yeah.
I like a clean modern look. I'm like,
Very
I can
graphic.
see that being embossed. I can see that being
Yeah.
layered. Like I can see it in so many different directions.
But it's so square, it doesn't go,
Yeah.
it doesn't lend itself to a lot of layouts. That's the only
I
thing.
don't
about
know. I
it.
think that's the beauty of that. It does lend itself because you can, for business cards, for promos on posters. I don't know.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
just me though. I like it.
And
I think they're
also,
all
I
really
also I
strong.
can make banners for to the industry pricing on, I could make a banner that you showed us. I could get that made for $20 or $25. So there's that also, just so you know, because they serve only the sign industry.
Mm-hmm. Great.
As a place I
Thanks.
use. So I'd be happy to do that.
Look at that one. That one's kind of cool too. They're all beautiful.
I know, I
You did
love
a great-
that.
That's
Yeah,
great.
that one's
Yeah. I love that.
that one
And-
just has life. It's just
Exactly. It's the life thing.
Right.
right. No, we should put a goat on it.
I only think about,
Multiple goats.
A sailboat, a goat, what else?
Goat
Goats
has-
on a sailboat.
Goats on
Yeah.
a sailboat. There you go.
Well, kudos to you. They're really, really lovely.
Yeah.
They are.
Well, thank you. Canva is a great tool and it's free and
know,
really they had
I've used it. It's amazing.
yeah, they had the artwork and the fonts and I just put things together. So.
Yeah.
Did a
Yeah.
great job.
Nice.
Okay, so people like that one with the sailboat.
Yeah, it's Gloucester.
I wanna say
Okay,
two
and
things.
people,
And
I'm
I
going to
like-
try to move us to a vote, to making a
wait,
choice.
Looks
here.
like Laura
Okay.
wants to say something.
Let me say something.
Okay, yep,
So,
Laura, go
two
ahead.
things. One, you have to remember that we're going to be giving something to our grantees to put on their programs.
That's right.
So
Needs
the
to be
less,
simple.
it needs to be simple. So we can have two. We can have our grand one and one that is simplified. But let's keep that in mind as we look at this, how we can have a simplified version of one. to
I
make it
agree with
easier
you.
For our grantees.
That's what I was
Yeah,
thinking,
and-
Laura. The script is so thin on that.
Yeah, and also thinking about size, right? What
Yeah.
if this is on Instagram or in like a small format? So
It's
what's
going to be.
yeah.
So
Yeah. I think that's why I like more of the block format for that reason also, just more
Right.
clarity. I agree with you.
Yeah, people are going to be sticking it on their publication materials, and it's going to be very tiny.
Hey, we could do stickers like Good Morning Gloucester and we can just walk around and just stick them everywhere.
Put them everywhere
Yeah.
in other
Yeah.
countries and put them on other countries on cars.
Yeah.
People would love us for that.
Wouldn't they? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Public art.
Oh, yeah. Gloucester. It's always.
Other people
Gloucester.
love Gloucester.
This page 6, the modern one, scaled, cultural council would be really tiny, right?
Yeah.
This
I
is
mean,
actually my favorite. I love this.
I do too, actually.
I do too, but it's going to be 2 dots. It's going to be very, very small. It's just basically going to read as Gloucester when it's
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
the
Is
program
there
as
a
Gloucester.
way of making the cultural council font bigger?
I'd say
Sure.
so, Karen. When Joe, I have a suggestion
all
of the cultural council. It could be all uppercase to contrast the upper and lower in Gloucester. And it could, kind of be an anchor, so to speak, Gloucester speak. And that might help, but maybe it's something that could be,
It's better. if
Karen,
it's bigger,
maybe,
then you
yeah.
see-
yeah. I think that one's a real winner.
it's a
What
waste.
about
Now,
the
the
col-
fact that it's white on a blue background, what are the implications of that in terms of people replicating it?
It's going to
Yeah,
cost
I
us
was
more
going to
money.
ask about the color.
Well, then you can do blue on a white background. That's what's
Yeah.
the beauty
Right.
of it. It's reversible.
Right, okay.
But we want to give them something very simple they can cut and paste and not
Yeah.
have to change.
Yeah. So we could give 2 versions. We could give the blue background and the white background, right?
Yeah, and the other thing is if it's too complicated with the graphic, it can always be the lettering with the MCC.
There's
lettering.
white with blue on white.
Yeah. And the Gloucester and the Cultural Council could stretch to be the width of the graphic above.
Yeah,
You know, when in height, I wouldn't do it by extending it, but we can talk about it afterwards, Karen, but I would make the height bigger and not stretch it and expand it that way. But
okay, is there a motion to adopt the design of page 7, subject to tweaking?
yeah, tweaking, yes. Well, I
Anyone
don't know
wanna
if I
make-
can vote. Can I vote?
You can't vote.
Oh,
No,
no,
I'm
that's what I
asking
thought.
for any voting.
But
I'll
your
vote.
opinion is important.
Yes.
Shayla,
I vote yes.
you moving to adopt that?
I am moving to adopt that, yes.
Is there a second? Karen, you want to second it?
I'm moving to adopt it.
No, okay,
Oh.
Shayla made the motion.
I'm
Karen
seconding.
seconded.
Second.
Rebecca is seconding. Okay, any further discussion? I mean, I'm happy to have Karen and Trisha tweak it.
I'm a tweaker from way back.
Yeah.
Don't brag.
Tweaker.
Okay, I'll call the roll. Shayla, you vote yes?
Yes.
Karen, yes?
Yes.
Laura,
Yes.
Rebecca,
Yes.
I vote yes as well. We have a logo. Yay.
Nice work,
Yay.
Karen,
Karen.
thank you so
Really
much.
Nice work, Karen.
Good job.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Karen, could you,
Yes.
since we have voted on this, are you able to go to the Facebook page and the Instagram and make that our profile picture and our banner for the time being, or at least our profile picture?
I do. I have, Lucas shared with me the social media passwords, but I think we'll want to tweak this first, right?
Right.
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely tweak it first.
As
We-
soon as it's tweaked, let's do that so we can
Yeah.
just.
Karen, maybe we can tweak it over the weekend. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that sounds
also
good.
also for the city website, just because I know
Yeah.
that the Harbor Town USA was still on the Facebook, and then I just put a picture of the sign from the ice sculpture.
oh, good idea.
Want to have consistency across the board.
Mhm.
Yeah, I
Yep.
think that's really good. And then we can, have 2 banners
Yeah.
eventually.
And it's not unrelated to the one that's already on the banner because it's got
Right.
the waves, the G is
Yeah.
similar, so it's not
Right.
unrelated.
Right. Okay. All right, we did that. Number 6 is discuss next meeting dates and likely agenda items. And we've kind of talked about that. I will stay in touch with everybody. Rebecca, I'll get the mailbox key from you at some point before the end of February. I'll call a meeting once we have the minimum of 5 people. But
May
in the
I,
mean- Yep.
may I ask Trisha and Lynn, would you like me to add you to the email distribution list?
Please.
Yes,
Okay.
please.
So Lynn, I will need your email. I don't believe I have it.
It's
Do you want to just tell it to me?
Yes, LYNN
Yeah.
AGUIRE as in physical therapist @gmail.com.
pt@gmail.com.
Okay,
Right.
that's now a matter of public record for everybody
Right.
to start writing to you.
Okay.
And Trisha, I have your email.
Okay. I know you do. Okay.
Okay,
I wanted
Great.
to tell you, Lucas, his post on, I think it was on the Chamber of Commerce, my daughter, my 34-year-old daughter that lives with me, saw the request for members and said, Mom, this is right up your alley. So if she hadn't seen it, the social media of the young people
Effective.
me to contact you. So I thought that was pretty cool.
yeah,
It is very cool. Thanks for telling us.
Yeah.
That's good to know. Lucas is a master at social media. I don't know how many of you follow his Dogtown books, but it's so fun, the posts that he puts
Hmm.
when he finds treasures. So
yeah.
Okay, I'm now officially following
oh,
the
Dogtown.
Gloucester Cultural Council. Yeah.
Great.
So it was nice to meet everybody.
Yeah,
It was
welcome.
very
No.
nice to see
And-
me.
And
What-
Lynn, I hope you feel better.
Yes, I'm doing better every day.
Yeah, good, good.
Yeah.
Take it
And-
till you make it, you know?
Yeah, and Rebecca and Shayla, I'm sorry that I didn't get to be, here with you, but it's nice to see you both.
No,
Great.
it's
See you.
fun.
Trish, it's good to see you, and I think you're gonna, I feel like this, like, transition people are gonna be great. You have like a senses
Shayla.
of humor, you have senses of humor, that will
Yes.
come in handy.
That's the most-
Importante, importante. Yeah.
Humor was the word of the day for Wordle today.
It
Humor.
was, I
Oh, no,
found
don't
it
tell me,
easy-
don't tell me. I didn't do it yet.
Oh, I found it easier than frame.
Don't tell
Oh
me.
God, I'm gonna have to try this.
I am
Everybody's
addicted
doing
I
to
it.
just-
that.
I'm so addicted. I wait till midnight every night. I'm like a crazy
Oh,
woman.
We do it.
Writing
in the
to my
morning.
cousins in Ireland, Germany. We have it all going like,
Oh,
how
that's
did you
cool.
do today?
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
so.
So
Rebecca, do you have your dog with you?
Yes,
Not
I saw
right-
her dog in
Not
her
right
lap.
now. I just booted him out.
Oh, I
I
wanted
wanna
everybody
see
to
him.
see him.
So cute. I saw him when he was giving you a little hug.
Yeah,
I know,
Where's
he
Wolfie?
was-
Where's Wolfie?
oh God, I don't know where he is, but I'm honestly, I'm getting really hungry. So
Okay.
I know, I was thinking the same thing. I'm
Go,
like,
go,
I'm
go.
ready.
you
Yeah.
done?
Okay, we
Boy,
need a
my-
motion to adjourn.
Motion
Okay.
to adjourn.
Laura,
I
second.
Laura.
I
Shayla,
second, Laura.
Rebecca, second.
Bye, you
All right,
guys.
let me
Bye,
call
you
the
guys.
roll. Shayla,
When I see you
Shayla,
around
yeah,
Shayla, say hi to
Karen,
Paul.
Laura.
And Liz,
Oh,
I'm
thank
Rebecca.
you, I will.
I miss you.
All right.
Good to see you.
Been great.
Good to see you. I miss
You look
you.
great too, honey.
Okay, all I have to do is
Bye.
click end and everybody's gone. I'm gonna do
Okay,
that.
bye.
Bye.
Okay,
Bye.
bye.
Bye,
Bye, bye,
everybody.
bye.